They say it's not a festival. Well, they lied. It's music together outside. They're being super safe. The protocols are clear. Will you come and let the music soothe your fear? Will you console your children in the shade? Or will I see you at the summer serenade? Or be there virtually at Folk Fest TV.
Danse, oki, danit ada ambawa stitch, and if you're from Calgary, howdy. My name is Michelle Thrush. I am a local actress in town. I am Nehio Cree. I am also a producer and a director and the artistic director of Macon Treaty 7 Cultural Society, and I am so excited to be your host tonight as we get live with the most incredible singer you're going to meet named Dan Mangan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm so excited.
It's all happening. Look, there's cameras, there's people.
I know.
There's a crowd.
I
later.
know. We're sitting in a cabin here. Like, who knew there was
legit.
a cabin? Anyways, I am super excited. Welcome to the Folk Festival Television, the special broadcast of the Calgary Folk Music Festival's week-long summer serenades presented by ATB. So, Dan, how are you feeling tonight?
Kind of feels like a dream still. You know, I feel like I've been locked in my basement for a year, and I keep talking about there's a little bit of a like Stockholm syndrome. You know, you fall in love with your captor a little bit. Like, I kind of got really used to it. And but now that I'm here, I was nervous. I'm nervous for the show. I'm nervous to sing. I'm nervous. You know, it feels all new again in a kind of a beautiful way, and also very familiar. You know, and I'm just so thrilled to be here with people. You know, and everyone's vaccinated and we're ready to rock.
Right? That's the new thing. It's like, are you vaccinated?
Yeah.
Are you double vaxxed?
I keep seeing people outside and be like, you know, is it going to be a handshake or an elbow or whatever? And someone will say like double vax, and everyone goes, yeah, double vax, and you know, going for the hug.
We can touch, yeah. So we would like to encourage you to like and subscribe and to tell us where you're watching from. If you've joined us just now, we're going to be doing an interview with Dan Mangan. And if you'd like to contribute to this live stream, we would love for it. So you can donate through the link in the video description. This is Dan Mangan, and we are live here. So if you have any questions out there in live stream land, please send them to us. And I'm really curious. You said you were feeling a little bit nervous tonight.
Definitely, yeah.
As an actor myself, I find that when I've got nerves and stuff, I just kind of use them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that should be at the heart of all of this, is like whatever's happening. If you're worried about what's not happening, it's all going to crumble. Whereas if you lean into what is happening and explore that and mine that for whatever it's worth, something magical might happen. So hopefully that's where we get.
Have you ever been to this area?
To Calgary?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is my third time being on this festival grounds. Played the festival twice in its previous incarnation. And many times playing venues around town. And I always, without fail, look forward to Calgary shows because the crowds are amazing. Like there's a thing in it. I use the analogy of leaning forward. You know, are you leaning forward or are you sort of leaning back with your arms crossed? And Calgary audiences lean forward. Nice. They are always a joy to play to. Nice.
Well, did you realize that we are sitting in the Treaty 7 territory?
I did not know, and I'm so thankful. You know, in Vancouver, we talk about being on the unceded territories of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish people, and it's now more than ever, it is at the forefront of everything in this nation. It was an interesting Canada Day this year, and most people I knew sort of took it as a moment to reflect rather than a moment to celebrate. And it is unfortunate that it's taken the recent events to bring it to light so that the critical mass of people can understand that this country was involved in a genocide up until 1996. Yeah. And still in some incarnations, in some elements linger. And thank you.
Yeah, no, I just want to acknowledge that we are here in the Treaty 7 territory. That includes this area traditionally was the Blackfoot Confederacy. The Niitsitapi people are the Blackfoot people. And their actual territory began down in Wyoming and goes way up north.
So there was no border back then?
No.
Yeah.
No, there was no border.
Yeah.
But
What is a border? Yeah.
the Blackfoot territory consists of the Gaina people, who are down about 2 hours south. And then we've got the Pigunni, who are down there also, but closer to the mountains. The Pigunni Nation, they're also Blackfoot. And then the Siksika, who are about an hour east of Calgary. So that's the Blackfoot Confederacy. And then if you go an hour to the west, we've got the Stoney Nakoda Nation. And then right beside Calgary in the southwest is the Tsuut'ina Nation. So that's where my daughters are from, is Tsuut'ina.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and also we've got the Métis Nation Zone 3 happening here. So we want to officially welcome you into the Treaty
Thank
7
you.
territory.
I have an app called Whose Land. I don't know if you know that
I've
app.
never heard of that.
It's called Whose Land. You can download it, and it senses your GPS, and it tells you whose land you're on.
Wow.
And the sort of hereditary nations of.
I want to get that.
Yeah.
What is it again?
It's called Whose Land.
Whose Land?
Yeah.
I want to get that. Yeah, I'm artistic director, as I said, of Making Treaty 7, which is an amazing theater collective here in Calgary. We've been going since 2012, and for the first 3 or 4 years, we explored the history of this territory, and we had a predominantly Indigenous cast, but we also have all people that come on stage, and we do a whole performance, individual stories all about what this land and this territory means.
It's so cool.
It's a really powerful thing, yeah.
I think it's important to use art to explore and talk about all of the history. It's
right. How long have you been an artist?
Oh, I don't know. Interesting question. How long would I have considered myself to be
when
an
did
artist?
you start feeling like you're gonna share your art with the world?
There's a permission thing. Like, you have to give yourself permission at some
I
point.
agree.
You have to give over to it. I felt like as a teenager, I was writing songs. I was mostly just emulating my heroes, and it took a long time before I felt like I had contributed something that felt like my own take on the craft and on the tradition. And I would probably in my early 20s sometime, I had to write 50 songs and play 100 gigs to get there. And when I see, amazing young musicians who are like 17 writing these incredibles, I'm just like, what? I feel like it took me till I was like 26. Like, I had a long incubation process to figure out who I was as a musician or as an artist. It wasn't, and it definitely wasn't an overnight type of thing.
No.
It was long and arduous, and I still feel like I'm very much on, in the beginnings of a cycle. I'm perennially around people that are just so talented, and I feel like out-gamed, almost, or something like that, and I use that, as earlier you're talking about using whatever nerves or whatever, and I try and use that feeling to approach the music with new eyes. You know what I mean? So I think it's cool to approach music like a kid, because my kids, they walk up to a piano and they go like, da, 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 da. And then later I'll be like, well, that was cool. You were playing. Do you want to? We could get you piano lessons. My 4-year-old will say, I already know how to do it. I just showed you.
Right.
And it's amazing, right? Like we kind of beat it out of them in a way.
Yeah.
We hound it out of our kids. And so if I can approach being on stage in that light, I mean, anything's possible.
In a childlike sense.
Totally.
Yeah. You mentioned your heroes, that you used to try and emulate your heroes. Who are your heroes?
Well, I've been very vocal. My favorite band, flat out, is Radiohead. It has been since I was very young. They're just unbelievable. But in terms of what writing folk music and stuff, when I was a teenager, I listened to a lot of Van Morrison, Paul Simon, and Nick Drake. In the modern sense, it was people like Ben Harper or, and then I kind of, through that, I grew into listening to a lot more jazz and indie rock and all over the place. I mean, the funny thing is that when I get on stage and I'm holding a guitar, I'm very much like a dude with a guitar. And I understand that it's not exactly like the most popular thing in this day and age, but that is the thing that comes naturally to me, is to sit and play a song with a guitar.
Okay, this is a song called Basket. It's kind of about growing old gracefully. We are young, we have years ahead, maybe we might fall in love, fall apart, fall apart. Before it ends, well, we should try to start. So I'll go, but I'm telling you I don't wanna go. Could be stuck here and happy. There's a puzzle I work on endlessly, and I've got the sides and all the corners, but there's a space. There's a space. Lost some pieces I can't replace. So I'll be, but I'm telling you I don't wanna be just a wasted puzzle piece. We are old and our son took the dog away. Fair enough, guess we're tired all the time. All the time. You know, dogs, they need ample time outside. So I'll stay, but I'm telling you I don't wanna stay. So I'll brace myself against the wall and hope to God that I don't fall. My bones are worn, my hip won't hold. I used to be so young, how did I get so old? Won't you take my cane and hold my hand? You're holding on to all I have, just a basket full of memories, and I am losing more each day it seems. But if I can make it to the street, I'll steal a car or a bike, whatever there is to steal. And it might get cold, I just don't care. I'm going till I'm getting there. I'll ride my steed all through this town too.